Hello everyone. Today I have the honor of introducing to you Dr. Ashwin Bhardwaj. He has a rank 20 in this year's AIMS exam. He has been a DAMS regular course student in from Bangalore, and I'm really proud of your achievement, Ashwin. Ashwin, tell us how are you feeling today?
I actually couldn't believe my rank when I first saw it, and it came as a big surprise to me. I felt even though I had prepared well, I really did not expect this kind of a rank, and a lot of thanks to Sumer sir and the rest of DAMS faculty for helping me through this difficult time.
How was your experience in the DAMS regular course program when you joined us for a classroom course in Bangalore Center, which is a face-to-face center? How was your experience with the classroom?
It was actually a very pleasant experience. And even though the classes were for 12 hours, starting from morning 8 to evening 8, the lectures certainly did not feel so. The faculty were really good at spacing out and giving and optimizing information so that we wouldn't be overburdened during the lecture. So um, that was very convenient for classroom students, and it was very useful for the exams as well.
And how was your idea about the classroom? Were you making notes in the class, or were you listening, or what was your main idea in the class? Were you trying to understand what the teachers are saying? Uh, what kind of a student were you?
I was more of a listener than a writer, I would say. My notes as such were not very detailed or using a lot of colors or anything like that. My notes were just the key points, and I was trying to absorb and retain as much as I could in the class itself, rather than um, the referring to notes later.
Actually, what I've seen is most of the high achievers like you, they try to utilize the class for understanding. And I want to tell the future aspirants also that the key in the classroom is to listen to what the teachers are saying, understand, and then write that key point in the notebook. Don't become a stenographer where you're writing everything. Just write the key points in the notebooks and try to utilize the classroom for understanding. And in the classroom you will also have experiences like your friends or the group of students that you sit with. Sometimes they will answer the question, sometimes you will answer. Did you have a group like that in the classes?
Unfortunately, I did not have a group like that because once the pandemic had started, I was mostly stuck with the online classes. And I must thank DAMS for very efficiently switching over and making sure everyone had some resource during the pandemic. So, even though the classroom experience lasted for a short while, it was very efficient.
And so were you happy with the way we shifted over to the live classes within a week and we started doing the live classes?
Yes, definitely, sir. I think that has been one of the most a very smooth transition. Very few problems we had, and so it was almost as if our studies had not taken a halt. So it was very efficient.
Any particular teachers that come to your mind today when you are sitting at this point where you have a rank 20 in the most prestigious exam in the country?
Um, I think everyone would remember Tushar sir's orthopedics classes. Orthopedics being a subject that is less stressed upon in MBBS, suddenly requires a lot more information to be learnt at the post-graduation entrance level. And I think every case that he so nicely details, every story that he tells, it just sticks in your mind as a case itself. And even if it is formed in a question pattern, you can be sure that you would remember it in the exam. And not to forget, sir, your clinical radiological correlations. It actually made so many things such as CT and MRI stuff that I was really afraid of. Now it seems much easier for me to tackle. Thanks to the very efficient way in which you predicted the questions, and the pattern is just really good, sir. I really love that.
And also tell me that after the classes, what your resource did you use in the e-medicos for your MCQ practice?
I mainly concentrated on DQB. DAM's question bank was uh, uh, was very helpful in that I could randomly attempt whenever I wanted, how much ever I wanted, and that I made sure I was able to answer even when I'm not prepared for a test. So at any point in the day, whether I'm concentrating or not, whether I'm sleepy or not, I would always solve a few questions on DAM's question bank. And thanks to the huge library of MCQs, you can be sure that any kind of tricky MCQs you would still be able to tackle. I did also attempt a few of the grant tests, but I did not have much time. I was focusing mainly on DAM's question bank.
So, Ashwin, I also want to know from you, like, if I put it in a nutshell that, your preparation strategy so far was classes, notes, and understanding in the classes, and primarily do the question bank, dance question bank.
Yes,
So,
sir.
when you were appearing for the AIMS exam, like when you were giving the AIMS exam this year, how many questions did you attempt in the exam, and what was your impression on the day of the exam, that how the exam feels like, and it was different from the past aims exams in a way that you only had single best answer response questions, there were no video based questions. What was your idea about the exam, and how many did you attempt in this exam?
Out of 200 questions, I had attempted approximately 190 questions. 10 questions I was really not sure of, so I had to leave those. But otherwise, I think I had made educated guesses in quite a lot of MCQs, and which is a fair chance to take considering that they were all single option. And this year's AIMS paper was maybe slightly easier than the previous year's paper, and thanks to the plenty of mistakes and the plenty of attempts I had done on the DAM's question bank, uh, the mistakes which I had done just flashed in front of me when I looked at the question again. So then I was able to give the answer.
And I would like to highlight here for the listeners that it's a very good idea that he has done, that when you practice question bank side by side when the classes are going on, you learn that what you have not understood or what you are still doing wrong. And once you make a mistake, you don't make it again. The key here is to make mistakes and learn from mistakes. And Ashwin has been a master of this skill here, and he has utilized that skill to get into a top 20 rank in the most prestigious exam in the country. Ashwin, we are really, really proud of your achievement. Ashwin, we
Thank you,
also
sir.
want to know from you that did you give the PGI exam?
Yes, sir, I have given the PGI exam.
So can you compare the AIMS and the PGI exam for us?
PGI exam I found slightly difficult considering that it was multiple choice options, and I was completely I was slightly more unequipped to tackle with which options to mark, which options to not mark, how many uh, how many questions to attempt, and how much risk should I take. That problem was not there in slightly more comfortable patterns like the AIMS and the NEET PG exams. That was a problem I felt I had faced slightly more in the PGI exam because of the multiple choice options.
Let's hope for the best, and let's hope for the great results in PGI as well.
Thank you,
Because
sir.
what I feel, and I've talked to many top rankers this year, most of them felt that PGI exam was more difficult than the AIMS exam this time, and probably more conceptual also. A lot of things were asked in PGI and AIMS. It was there was some kind of factual questions in between also, but I think the overall impression of the paper was on the difficult side for everybody. So you never know, you might get a great rank in PGI also, and we might come back to you for with an interview again.
I
And
hope so.
so, Ashwin, we also want to know from you that you talked about the classes and the motivation that you got, and how you managed. But in between, I must ask you that it would not have been always easy. There must be days when you would have self doubt. There must be days when you were feeling that I will not be able to do. Like, how did you manage the mindset?
It was actually a difficult journey, sir. I had gone through various phases of confidence, right from the highest to the lowest, and then again to a moderate confidence just before the exams. So it was a very fluctuating and a very unstable time for me. It is really difficult for everyone who has suddenly shifted from working continuously in internship, doing mindless work in internship, to suddenly using the depths of your brain to remember all information is certainly a difficult task for everyone, and that I feel is like a must experience, must go through experience for every medico. So I felt what is required is the inner determination that you can do anything as long as you have time and the strength to do it. Repeated attempts, repeated revision were ultimately what helped me. In spite of assuming that you know a particular subject, it is always wise to revise it multiple times. So, what I would advise is that anyone who's going through the PG entrance should definitely not be taken aback by small faults of memory, small silly mistakes. Everyone commits small silly mistakes. These are nothing to be worried of. You just need to revise the same subject again and again till you spontaneously click the right answer in the exam.
And Ashwin, can you also tell us that when you were doing your internship and you gave the NEET exam, what was your rank in the last year's exam? That will give an idea to other people that how much you have improved.
After internship, I had made absolutely no attempt to study, and I just went and wrote the exam. My NEET exam rank was 18,000, and I'm glad that I've made a massive jump in a short period of 6 months.
That is actually an awesome, and a highly motivational shift that you have done. I think a lot of people will be so excited about it that they can improve. Now, Ashwin, and when we are talking about this, can you also tell us that there will be candidates, who will be at this AIMS exam who would not see their name in the list, and how do they motivate themselves that if Ashwin can do it in 6 months from 18,000 to 20, can you tell them about how did you manage the mindset? There would be people who would have doubted your ability after the ranks. Even you would have self doubts. How did you manage all that?
Definitely, sir. I think self-doubt is the number one disease that plagues all PG medical aspirants, uh, uh, because we are forced to completely shift from a 5 mark, 10 mark question in MBBS exams to MCQs of varied difficulties, and even I definitely was not hoping to get such a good rank. I think a small part of luck and educated guesses always make a difference. And to all those who are doubtful of their abilities, be rest assured, I was a very very average student in MBBS. This is nothing to be concerned about. The college you are from does not matter. How you did in MBBS does not matter. What matters is that you start afresh, you start straight, and you give your 100% in this exam.
And very rightfully said. And Ashwin has been very humble in saying that he is the average student, but I think his ranks are now telling a different story altogether. He is ranked 20 in this year's AIMS exam, but the message that he is giving is very very important, that some people may start early, some people may start late, but the idea is when you start, you started with all your heart. And that is the key, that after his internship he had a dismal rank at the NEET PG, but then he came back strong, started with the regular course, started with the making notes, understanding them, and he was very serious about mistakes that he do in DQB, and he was analyzing his mistakes so that he does not repeat, and in the exam he could actually remember that this is a mistake that he has done in the past, and I should not do this in the AIMS exam. And what I feel after talking to him is that he is going to do very well in the PGI exam also, because I feel that he is underplaying it. But I'm sure we will be taking another interview with him after the PGI results also. And Ashwin, also can you give some tips on any, like you've given this AIMS exam, like suppose if you had to analyze this AIMS exam for a person who's going to give the November AIMS exam, can you analyze this paper for him, like what topics to stress on? It will be help for the future aspirants.
Yes, sir. What I would advice is one, I maintained a notebook of all the mistakes I had made in the MCQs. It did not cross many pages towards the end. A few weeks before the exam, my list of what is it, deficient topics actually came down to just a few pages. So I knew what to revise, where I was continuously going wrong again and again, in spite of repeated MCQs. Those are the only things I studied a few days before the exam. The second thing would be that apart from important topics, I feel it is very important for a PG aspirant to understand that this is the time, the only time you get to study 19 subjects in a span of 6 months. Nowhere else in your life are you going to have the opportunity to do this beautiful thing. 19 subjects, a complete understanding of the human body is what you must try to get uh, before focusing on important things. Of course, it is important to focus on some topics that are important for AIMS, some topics that are important for PGA, and so on. But what I felt kept me studying for longer hours was a complete holistic view of how beautiful the human body is, and definitely even the subjects that I felt were not interesting suddenly appeared interesting to me. So that is what I would concentrate more on, rather than just the important topics that are not going to get you anywhere. You will eventually lose interest. Once you have finished thoroughly with some important topics, it is always important to uh, take a complete view of everything that we have studied, make sure we have understood every small thing that we have read, and that is, I think, what helped me study for more than 10 to 12 hours per day.
I think what Ashwin has very beautifully put is a very very mature thought, and I think it is very important for everybody to understand that in medical profession, the best you know about all subjects is when you are at this stage writing the NEET PG or the PG entrance exam. After this, when you become a specialist, like suppose somebody goes into ENT, ophthalmology, radiology, now we know more about our specialty. Now, till now, whatever ophthalmology I know is from my MBBS days. After that, I've got into radiology. So I think what he's saying is very, very actually brilliant, that need to become the best in all subjects at this time. Try and see the beauty of the subjects and the human body and the diseases, and the ranks will follow. Sometimes what happens is people are blindly chasing the ranks without understanding, they're just mugging up. And in the end, the ranks do not come because they are just not understanding the disease process. So I think Ashwin, what you have done is very beautiful, and I think you really like to understand things. You have to like to understand things, then only you can do this.
So definitely, sir.
What kind of like branch would you seek to join now?
I prefer taking up general surgery, sir.
Yes. And I think AIMS is a great place to do your surgery from, because you get the exposure to all super specialties. You get to know what is going on in other specialties also, and you get rotated also. But like as a resident in AIMS, you will get rotated in neurosurgery also, urology also, GI surgery also, and you will make friends who are and mentors who are doing DM or MCH in different specialties. It's a great place to be. And I'm sure at your rank you should be able to get surgery in AIMS. And my fingers are crossed, and my blessings are with you,
Thank
because
you.
I think that will be a great end to the journey, and a very fast end at 6 months time of preparation and end to journey. It will be very comforting to your mind also.
Yes, sir, definitely.
And that is the beauty of the mid-year exam. So if you can make it big in the mid-year exam, you can relax and have a end of your journey very fast. Otherwise, it is a good 1.5 year journey, that you need exam, then the results, then the counselings. This is a good thing that you have done, is that you have worked hard to achieve it in this exam itself. Now, now I have a special guest interviewer to give you a comment here. I'll invite Dr. Deepthi here to, just say hi to you, and then we will meet your parents as well.
Hello, Ashwin. Heartiest congratulations on your performance.
Thank you, ma'am.
You've done really, really well, and I'm sure a lot of hard work and dedication has gone into it. And I was listening to your journey as well, and what I really want to feel like asking you is, there are a lot of students who start with a doubt in their mind, although you didn't, which is great, and they would often ask, right, is 6 months a good time to crack an exam with a good rank? And I want you to say something for students who would be starting now, let's say, and preparing for their exams until NEET. And this is something that is going to be very reassuring for them. And also, if it is possible, as per what you would say, what do you think would be the key ingredients that they should put in now to make these 6 months most effective and come out with flying colors just like you did?
Thank you, ma'am. I think 6 months is definitely not sufficient to cover 19 subjects at its complete depth, but it is sufficient to cover some of the important points required for the exam, and at least a solid 6 months, right from day one, right till the day of the exam. I think studying every day, a little by little, definitely matters. And what I would
Yes.
suggest is always keep solving a few MCQs at random continuously throughout the day, so that you assess yourself and you know where
Right.
you're going wrong.
Okay. And I think, yes, you very rightly said that because 6 months, it is very important that you read the most effective things so that you make a mark. And that is precisely, I think that is something that I would also want to say, that if you are starting now or if you're looking for an improvement, try and do things which are going to be most high yielding rather than, just doing a plethora, and it will be an unending task then. Also, Beta, I would want to ask you that, how do you think was, the test papers role as far as the, mid-year exams go, not just AIMS, but even PGI or, JIPMER is going to happen. You haven't given it yet. And because, we put in a lot of efforts when we make a test paper fresh for every session. It does take us sometimes like a month to make one test paper, to think what goes into it. So we would want to know, what do you think is the hit rate, or what we things that we did ask you to do in those times? Do you think that was fruitful? And also, a lot of people would be joining test courses now as well. So how to take it further with the test and discussion course as well?
Uh, for as long as tests are concerned, I think it is important that you write every test as if we were attempting the exam itself, and
Okay.
it is really important in the seriousness of an exam within the given time limit. We attempt the exam, and what is more
Right.
important is the analysis of the mistakes. Once you've made a mistake, you can immediately go back to the chapter where you've made a mistake, read the whole chapter again and again, see where you have gone wrong. More importantly, analyze why you have gone wrong. What I understood from my analysis was some rare syndromes I was continuously missing. Numbers I kept forgetting again and again. But otherwise,
Mhm.
clinical correlations was not that much of a problem for me. So
That's great.
I had a decent idea of where I was going wrong and where I could work on more. So I think that is very important.
He's very right on that. More important than giving an exam is the analysis, and trying to figure out where you went wrong. And Ashwin, I think when a child is preparing for their exams, which are this competitive, you need a lot of support as well. And I am sure your parents have a big contribution to give that cushioning support to you. All the time, to ensure that you are in good mental health and you are positive about things. And we would definitely love to acknowledge their efforts, and if they can come on screen, I would like to wish them heartiest congratulations, and also tell them that how fantabulous you have done, and it wouldn't have been possible without their efforts as well.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I think what is important is that every student, while starting off, has this extreme doubt in their minds that whether they can do it or not. And
I
family support is of utmost importance, and I would immensely like to thank my parents for continuously supporting me in my studies. Uh,
That's true.
just 1 second.
Sure, take your time. And meanwhile, while his parents are going to share the screen, I would like to say this about Ashwin, that I think he's someone who's been very, very focused on his journey, and he wanted to make most out of it. He's done it very systematically. He's done a good analysis of his strengths and weakness, and he's constantly worked on those. And that's what is incredible about Ashwin. And we're going to have his parents on screen now. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Are you able to hear me? It is so nice to have you here with us. And your son has done amazingly well, and I think you deserve all the credits.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I see the son, mom, the connection here, and I see how proudly you're standing beside him. And I think it's one of the moments which parents always love to see, seeing their child excel. And I think your contribution has been immense. And we would also like to congratulate you on his achievements and your effort behind it. How do you
Thank
feel
you.
today when Ashwin has done so well in the top-notch institute?
Really, I can't explain in words. Really excited, um, very happy. And the credit goes to coaching centers also, the for his achievement. And
Thank you, ma'am.
full credit goes to Ashwin for his efforts.
Definitely. I think the hard work nobody can replace that, and there is no alternative. Parents and teachers can only show a path and excel the journey.
Yes,
The
yes,
students are very capable and very deserving. They just need to be shown the right path and give
correct,
support from the side. So,
correct.
heartiest congratulations, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure to have you and your parents on screen. And Ashwin, any last messages that you would want to give on this interview to students or your juniors listening to you about something motivating, something that that they should know as aspirants, and if they know that the journey becomes a little easier, what would you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I don't want any student to ever doubt their capabilities, because to have got this far automatically means you have a certain amount of intelligence and you have a certain amount of memory, and that is important because uh, uh, every student who has automatically got this far can definitely can make it to any institute of their choice and get any branch of their choice. What matters is the effort we put in post internship. Immediately post internship, you have the complete practical experience of a doctor, and that combined with a sound theory knowledge should I think be more than enough for anyone. And no medical student should ever think that they cannot do this, or this institute is beyond their reach, or anything like that. That is just the wrong attitude to have.
I think very well said. Once the mind believes, the heart will also believe, and together you will make it happen. And I congratulate once again Ashwin on your performance. And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you're going to be a great specialist, and you will do very well in future as well. Right? And thank you for making us a part of your journey. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much to the DAMS faculty for having made this journey so smooth. And this has really been a very good experience for me to have learned so many subjects in such a short time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Heartiest congratulations
Thank you,
once more.
Ashwin.
Congratulations.
Heartiest congratulations once again. Best
Thank you.
wishes.
Thank you.